This is BS with Joe. News, culture, and crazy. One blunt conversation at a time.
Welcome back. Current events you may have missed. I'm Brad. For 6 fast stories tonight. A little banter before we sign off. Cleveland's planner case, a Louisiana terrorist arrest, and airlines rule versus viral claims. Portland's National Guard ruling Sinaloa cartels arrest tied to an Illinois raid, and a White House ballroom build. Joe's here to keep me honest on these stories.
Always. Dates, docs, and the boring links. You'll thank us later. Let's roll.
So story 1, Cleveland, Ohio. Felony theft charges against Cleveland's chief city planner, Kim Scott.
No relation.
No relation, yeah. Was dismissed. She's been accused of falsifying paperwork to secure about 117 hours of paid FMLA leave. Reports mentioned alleged forged marriage and death certificates. Prosecutors say misdemeanor could still consider after a review.
So, translation, no felony today, but that doesn't mean no consequences ever. And there's no public evidence tying the mayor personally to any wrongdoing here. So there's been some scuttlebutt there, but, you know, if we have to talk about accountability here, we'll keep it to process, approvals, audits, and controls.
Story 2, Lafayette, Louisiana. It's the FBI's arrest on terrorist who was at October 7th in Israel that was a part of Hamas, that was kidnapping Israelis and all that other stuff.
Yeah, he took part
in that attack. He entered the U.S. on fraudulent visas in 2024. He's charged with visa fraud, terrorism-related counts, allegations, and not convictions.
so far. He's obviously in the country illegally, so the complaint highlights he's got claimed militant affiliation, the location data near a targeted community, then a timeline of visa paperwork abroad, U.S. entry, and residence before the arrest in Lafayette. Next checkpoints, indictment, bond, and any immigration hold. I would expect that he would have some immigration problems.
I bet you the Israelis want him very badly.
I'm sure.
But also, how did the whole thing of him being here in the U.S. and are there possible terrorist plots in the U.S.?
I guarantee there are if we open these borders like we did.
Yeah, we're going to keep an ear to the ground on that story. Story 3, airlines versus rules and viral claims. You've seen the post airline units, the Bidens and Buttigieg's destroy the U.S. air travel for DEI. Industries never want them back. Here's what we can verify in 2024. The DOT finalized automatic cash refunds for cancellations, major schedule changes, several delayed bags, or paid extra on deliveries. Separately, fee disclosure rule was blocked in courts. Trade groups and some CEOs call parts of the agenda overreach.
Right. What we don't see is any official industry-wide statements saying they never want them back, or any credible proof that DEI took planes out of the sky. The bottom line for travelers, refunds got cleaner, some disclosure rules that are tied up. Airline pushback is real.
Yeah. Story 4, Portland National Guard. What we know as far as today is the Ninth Circuit panel stayed one district court order that had blocked federalized National Guard for Portland, but a separate order still blocked Department of Oregon unless it's lifted. So for clarity, no National Guard deployment yet. The legal fight is active and further review is possible.
The key statute cited involves presidential authority when regular forces are insufficient to execute federal law. It's when the mayor and the governor can't do their job, who steps in and does it? Because somebody's got to.
Right.
So precision matters. The state pending appeal does not equal a final win. Watch for motions to dissolve the remaining order and any en bloc moves.
Right. And also with that, I honestly believe that it's partially, he's probably setting up for an insurrection act. Because I was reading recently, before we started writing the script for this, that the Antifa is using the police to go and use them for cover and point daylight lasers at ICE. And they're blinding the ICE agents with these lasers.
That's not cool.
No, but the reason why they're using the police is because they're pepperballing Antifa, and they're using the police because the ICE agents aren't using it on the police. So,
Well, why would they?
right, they don't want to, but yet they're using police as shields. And they know that this act of using those lasers is a felony because it's causing due harm to an individual, especially law enforcement.
Right.
So, but the police department's told to hands off, don't arrest anybody.
That's a felony.
That's why I'm saying there's stuff going on in that as far as we see. But
It's a mess.
it's a mess.
All right. So seizures measured in the hundreds of.
No, we just started. So, story 5.
Yeah.
The Sinaloa cartel arrest in southern Illinois.
Right.
Federal prosecutors unsealed a superseding indictment tied to a Sinaloa pipeline moving fentanyl, meth, and cocaine into southern Illinois. More than a dozen arrests in a national sweep. Charges include narcoterrorism and material support.
Measured in the hundreds of kilos over the investigation. Alleged money laundering through U.S. banks. The local angle is defendants with ties to a felon and East St. Louis. And again, indictments are allegations until proven in court. But I can tell you, narcoterrorism is a new charge that is only available now because of something that Trump put into law. Before that, they weren't able to charge him with narcoterrorism because he declared these cartels to be terrorist organizations.
Oh, so now you got charges.
And the difference is
Narcoterrorism.
a drug charge versus a terrorism charge. So it's like a couple years in jail versus life. Yeah.
A big move. I hope they do
Big
get
move.
life.
Big
Because
move.
even if they were deported back to their country, I don't think their country's going to do anything about it, and they'll just come back over and...
Yeah, Mexico's not doing anything about it.
Story 6. The White House ballroom build.
Yeah.
I love this one. Demolition work has begun on parts of the East Wing to make way for a new ballroom. Reported price tag over $250 million. Described as privately funded with presidential backing.
Right.
Capacity estimates between anywhere from 650 to 1,000 people. Far beyond the East Room's typical crowd.
Yeah, that one held about 200 people.
Right. And what they were doing before then was they were just building a big pop-up tent. And so in the summertime, it's uncomfortable.
Like
Correct. Yeah. And in the wintertime, it's too cold. Whereas having a formal ballroom where you can have presidents and dignitaries, it's just...
But it's not without controversy. There's
Right.
timing issues, there's historic restoration issues. The National Trust sent a letter just begging them to stop the demolition of the East Wing. The White House frames it as modernization and better hosting capacity. So we'll strike the structural budget and access details as they firm up.
And the White House has been a lot of modernization throughout the years through various presidencies. It's just optics look really bad whenever they modernize it, especially with Trump involved.
I mean, it was Harry Truman that gutted it completely. The only thing that was left was the exterior walls.
Right, and that's because it was crumbling.
Yeah,
it was
it was
literally
falling
falling apart. Not only that, but you look back at 1812. That's right. It was burned down to the ground. I think it was built back in 1860.
Right. The East Wing is the youngest part of the building.
Right. It was built...
The 60s, yeah.
Kennedy built the East Wing.
That made the Oval Office, because the Oval Office is in the East Wing.
Right. I think that
It
was...
wasn't Kennedy, it was Nixon, wasn't it? We
But-
can double check that later.
Right. We don't have the facts on that. We're just kind of using our top of our head information. Yeah, the White House has been rebuilt several different times, and the complex is huge.
It is. So, I don't know, do you want to banter on that back and forth, or
Sure.
which side do you want to take?
I'll take modernization.
Okay, I'll be the preservation guy.
Yeah.
The We can't tear it down because of the history.
History.
Historic building.
It is a historical building, but it's also been modernized several times.
It has. And it's really hard for me to take this argument because I don't agree with it.
We're trying to have both sides of every story that we could come up with.
I'm sorry, I'm dunking this topic, but I mean, we got to swap sides.
Yeah.
Tell you
Also,
what, let's just give folks a two sentence dip on reading court orders without getting spun.
I think that works.
All right, so the last couple of weeks or so, I've been watching a lot of YouTube and Instagram posts come up that are just absolute garbage.
Right.
So here's a quick media literacy tool. If a headline makes you angry before you can think about it, pause and ask 5 things. Source: who published it? Date: when was it published? The primary document: is it a court file, a rule text, a press release? So is it clip versus context? What's outside the frame? And then the evidence: is it a claim or is there data?
Right. Don't just read the headlines. That bit Florida really badly with "Don't Say Gay" bill.
It did.
And also, it even bit the press recently with all the video footage of No Kings rallies. Those were all old clips. Like he was saying, check the dates. Don't just read the headlines.
That's not true.
That's
I've
not
already
true.
debunked that. I'll do it in another podcast.
Another podcast.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's one of those kind of things. Read into it, just don't read the headlines. And if you're angry about it, pause. Don't get too emotionally involved and think logically.
Yeah. So you want to give us a recap?
Sure. So the recap: the Cleveland do misdemeanors filing up here, and any audit for leave controls, and Louisiana indictment timing bond immigration detainer, airline court action on fee transparency and any tweaks towards obligations on refunds. No.
Somewhere between 650 and 1,000. We don't know. But
Yeah.
it's big. Anyway, we'll update if anything material changes.
That's it. Share, subscribe, leave a comment.
Think first, then share.
Yeah.
See you next time.
That's it.